Hello, welcome, happy World Fringe Day to Guilford Fringe and to Hull Fringe. And we have Nick and Dan here representing those festivals. Nick, can you tell us, you're mid-Fringe, so tell us how you're doing and what's going on.
Hi guys, Nick Wishner, Guilford Fringe Festival here. Happy World Fringe Day, how exciting. We are 12 days in to our Fringe Festival and we run right through to the 29th of July. It's been cracking so far. It's been, I mean, the sales have been up, the quality of acts have been up, the venues are more engaged. Guilford really seems to be kind of buying into it this year, which is really exciting. We're back in our box office and exhibition in one of the shopping centres in Guilford Town Centre. So we created a partnership with the White Line Walk and they give us for free a massive shop unit right in the centre of town. We've had it for 3 years now and it's just kind of, it's not necessarily busy all the time. Weekends are quite manic, but during the week it's more about kind of product awareness and people walk past and you hear them from outside the shop going, oh, there's a Fringe. And yeah, it's been really good to find new people.
Yeah, that's amazing. Dan, how are you getting on in Hull? Tell us about your Fringe Festival.
Okay, I was just reading what my wife was just typing. I'm sorry. I just need to say to people that I'm deaf myself, so that's why I'm a little bit slow here. Last year was 2017. It was actually quite difficult to get started. So this year is going to be our big year. We've got some space both in a central market area, but a wonderful space with food stalls around us, bands that we are talking to, hoping to arrange, and we've potentially got some other venues in place, and it's all looking quite exciting. People are actually talking to us and saying, when's it on, we want to go at the moment, yeah.
Yeah, that's great. And your Fringe Festival in Hull started out of a reaction to the City of Culture. Is that right?
Yes, it is, because the City of Culture itself focuses on all the big events and the bigger venues, and it had millions, thousands of pounds being thrown into the city, but not much of it was, not much of it filtered into the grassroots venues. So lots of cafes, small music venues missed out. And our intention was to take that focus on from the big areas and bring it down to the grassroots and get all the local performers to come out into the limelight, because they were missing out big time.
Yeah. And Nick, do you think that the Guilford Fringe has changed the audiences and things like that? What impact has your Fringe had on Guilford?
I think that's what the whole story is quite similar. That we in Guilford we are blessed with the arts. We've got loads and loads of it. We've got G Live, massive venue. We've got Even Arno, which is really like a #1 play touring venue. And when we set up, I realised there wasn't much in the middle. Kind of the first of all affordable, and it can be so expensive in Guilford and everywhere in theatre. And I think what we found is people have been willing to give things a go. So we do some events that on paper you might go, I haven't got much of a clue what that is, but it's £7, so we'll give it a go. So we've definitely found a different audience in Guilford, and it's filled a gap. It's been really welcomed.
Yeah. And how do you support those artists who come to your Fringe Festival in Guilford?
It's a low entry fee, and we do a ticket split in their favour. I think the biggest thing for us is for acts to understand that a lot of fringes, I understand, are charities, but we are set up as a business, and I did that on purpose because I believe that the arts should be treated like any other business. If it doesn't make money, it shouldn't really be happening. It's got to be able to pay for itself. We are unfunded, so what we try and drive home to the acts, and we have no complaints, is our ticket cut and the entry fee is maybe a tiny bit higher than other fringes, but we run all year round, and there's months and months, as all the fringe festivals know, where there is no income. It's terrifying. So it might look like, if you just look at the one night, that Guild Fringe Festival are taking a fair amount of money here, but if you actually spread it out throughout the 6 months, 7 months of pre-planning for a fringe where there's no income, we actually have got 3 salaries to pay, all that kind of stuff, and so we support our acts hugely. I think we've had some lovely feedback this year already, but everyone needs to understand that fringes cost a lot of money, and everyone needs to pay their little bit to make these fringes carry on growing.
But you support the artists, some of the artists year round as well, don't you? It's not just during the Fringe.
No, definitely not. We run all year. That's how we kind of keep alive and keep going. We run a theatre company as well, Guilford Fringe Theatre Company, Guilford Fringe Performing Arts. We teach young children musical theatre, and Guilford Fringe events. We put on events for other people, like the Christmas lights switch on in Guilford. We also have just set up a charity called the Wish Foundation, which is in my dad's name, and we give bursaries to people wanting to go on a train, or people that want to produce some work maybe at a Fringe festival and can't afford it. Because the reason we set up the Fringe Festival is to make the arts more accessible. In Guilford, it's a very middle class, wealthy area, and it's very easy to forget. There's the talent we're missing out on is vast just because of money, and it does my head in. So we set the Wish Foundation up to try and do our little bit. So although yes, we are a business, we need to make money in Guilford Fringe Theatre Company Limited. The Wish Foundation is a charity which is got no salaries at all. So every penny that we raise through that will go back into the arts.
Amazing. And Dan, in Hull, who are your artists, and how do you support them coming to your Fringe?
So how do who? Sorry, I was just really reading that.
My typing's not great.
What's happening is that we have a discussion group on Facebook, and we allow people to post their events on there. And mostly at the moment, it's people are going to talk to the venues, and the venues are supported, and the venues are posting their events onto our discussion page. We have somebody who runs a promotion company called Off the Road, and she's set up her own venue, which I was in last night. And it's an absolutely beautiful place, great space for the grassroots artists, poets, comedians and so on to go into. And she, one of our committee members, and this is how we are supporting people, and we're trying to branch out and go further. And we have places like Solo's Music Cafe, who's been voted as one of the best cafes in the area, which does music. But at the moment, things have been, I have to admit, because of last year, then got a bit slow, and we're picking up the pace again. That's where we are at the moment. We're just starting to gather steam.
Yeah. And do you have any connections with any other Fringe festivals in the country?
We have some loose connections at the moment with Liverpool, and I think I'm trying to remember who else. I mean, there's you guys, I would say, but I think we need to foster our relationships and build up, because where we are at the moment, we've been kind of in stasis. And this last week I've just looked at everything, just went, this isn't good. We need to get moving, so I'm dragging the Fringe along, screaming, and taking it into the next month. And basically, I've just taken over next month's event, and we've been offered space in other places, so we're just moving now.
How do if an artist is interested in performing at your festivals, Nick, how would they get involved in the future?
We open applications for next year in October, and all the information's on guildfordfringefestival.com. But to be honest with you, we've started now. As people are coming to the festival this year for the last week and a half, we've been talking about next year. We've booked in our opening show and a couple of venues that are new venues this year. We've got we're using the Guild Hall, which is on Guilford High Street. It's got a beautiful clock outside. It's one of the most historic buildings in Guilford. Kind of grabbed that this year, and we can book it again next year. And we booked our big opening show for next year. So if people want to get involved, we'll look at them now. Obviously, we're in the middle of the Fringe, and we might not get replies straight away. But official opening is in October.
And you said you've got 2,000-seater spaces for next year, which is
this
massive.
year. So last year we started that. We did. It's a G Live. Yeah, so we started our first. It was our 5th year last year, and we went and we kind of just wanted to try something and take a bit of a punt, and we booked G Live, which is just about 1,100 seats. So we did one last year. We did the Jack House Comedy Superstars, which is posted just here. We had Andy Parsons and Zoe Lyons, Matt Richardson and Ivo Graham open the Fringe this year. And this year we booked it twice. We're also closing the Fringe Festival, almost closing, the day before closing, with the Barricade Boys, who are an international musical theatre singing group.
So if you're an artist, a company who can take that size audience, then it's actually a very good opportunity for artists in the south of England to book that space.
Yeah, we find, particularly with the Superstars gigs, which we do throughout the year now. We're doing them in Watford, Dartford, Hastings, and Guilford, 2 a year in each of those venues, which are all 1,000+ seats, and that's going to help fund the Fringe Festival. But we find the headliners are so hard to book. So anyone's got a contact to name comedians, because that's what you need to sell 1,000 seats, like it or lump it. You need a good name.
Yeah. And Dan, in Hull, how do artists get involved in the Hull Fringe?
We have a booking process. We've got, sorry, not a booking process, that's the wrong word. People can apply, register on our website. Basically, we've got a register on there, but they don't just have to do that. They can purchase on social media as well, and we try to get into discussion and take things from there. At the moment, while we are the space we've got is very central in Hull. It's nowhere as big as Guilford, I must admit. But I do have some aspiration, because I'm visiting a big venue which has just opened in Hull, which I don't know if it has the same amount of space as Nick's space does. And we're quite excited. I mean, we've got plans, we've got funding. We just one of the bands we're looking at working with is a band that does have quite a bit of a draw, and they open for Springboard in Cottingham, which attracts around 20,000 people on a weekend, and we want to tap into that and bring it to the Fringe, but just not one time a year, but have something going every month.
Yeah.
Is this whole Fringe quite focused on music?
The whole Fringe isn't just focused on music. I mean, I talk a lot about music because I love music myself. My wife is a musician herself, and she's phenomenal, but I just need to keep my focus here, so I'm very biased.
Too right.
Basically, the whole Fringe is also about art, poetry, well, about art itself. Generally, we have been in touch with some people that want to book space at Minster to do in the art exhibition, and they've been in discussion with us, and we're trying to get that space organised. So no, we're not just music, we're more than just music.
I just noticed, because one thing we struggle with is music. It's not my background. My background's more in theatre, and we would really love more music to be involved in our Fringe. So that's something that I'll be looking at your social media channels to try and get some ideas, I think.
Yeah. Before we go, because we're going to go in a minute and finish the broadcast, but before we do, is there anything that you want to say about the importance of Fringe and why you think Fringe festivals are important to the world? Nick?
Fringe festivals are so important. For me, it's all about accessibility. It wasn't until I left drama school and did 10 years of touring myself and kind of came back home that I realised how inaccessible the arts can be. And Fringes just break down those barriers. We need to keep Fringes around, and we need to get our councils to support us more and more and more, because the amount of people they bring into our towns, artists and audience, is huge, and I don't think it gets recognised enough.
No, quite. Dan, how about you?
Well, for me, I've been following Edinburgh Fringe lately, and I know that you've got, with changing places, you've announced some facilities for that. And this is the sort of thing that I'm quite passionate about, because I do disability advocacy as well as I do the whole Fringe. And access to art, culture, all that is so important to me, because I've missed out on so much growing up, and I'm into my 40s. And the Fringe itself is all about access, It's about access to what you've got around you, access to a world that you don't know of, never been part of. It can bring life, beauty, joy to people, and that's what the Fringe is to me. It is about that and a whole lot more.
Totally. Thank you both. Happy World Fringe Day to you both.
Happy World Fringe Day.
It's been fantastic to have you both here, and we'll speak to you very soon. Thank you, Hull Fringe and Guilford Fringe.
Lots of love. Have a great day.
Take care. Bye-bye.